Now it will record.
First go. The whole event is being live streamed on Hangouts on air. Another thing I want to add is that we, as a part of GDG Bangalore, that's Vishal, Anuj, and me, we're also having a lot of programs and activities planned in the next couple of months. So if you guys are interested, you can come and talk to us after this meetup, and we'll see how we can involve others. Shreya, you can take it.
So hi friends, just to let us know of how the promise will be. So once I just walked in, I'm just going to go to guys for more of college students. Just how many of you are still students? Great. So a little bit of background on myself. I come with an experience of about say close to 13, 14 months. So I got this just 2 days ago, and then all of a sudden come to it. So when this thing actually went live as a form, Google Clouds was actually put up saying that register with your student. I know close, I follow all these technology things very closely. I'm a big fan of Apple and then also appreciate Google for what it does. And I keep watching these keynotes. So, but one thing that I do every time I watch it is to come up with more ideas as to how we can actually use it in our own domain. Or maybe what is it going to change? Everything has to change the way we look at certain things at all of it. We had this platform-based computing and then that became cloud computing. Everything changes at one other point of time. So I'm looking at that next big thing that's going to actually change the way we look at things, the way we compute. And this kind of question I actually noticed that in the form of ubiquitous computing. So are you aware of what ubiquitous computing actually is about? Just a brief thought. Perfect. Because I'll just have a slide on that, and it's all falling in place. That's actually very good. Okay. So this is what happened. So what happened was I saw this and I proposed a talk saying that I'm going to talk on ubiquitous programming. I had a very vague idea of what I will be talking about because it's just an idea that struck me. And then I expected people to come back and saying that okay, you are selected. It was just a short task. Let me just do it right. Because it wasn't like 30, 40 months of experience. I don't think anyone would actually get a chance to talk to it. But I was lucky enough. So then the actual role started. I had to talk something. So I immediately shot a video to Vishal saying that what is the audience going to be like? And he said it would be a mix of experience and non-experience. So the actual role started. So what I thought is, okay, let me put a disclaimer. Okay, so saying that whatever I might speak today, okay, it might seem fictitious to a lot of people, because I don't know it. I'm a learner like every one of you, and I'm going to just share my experiences, my thought process, and maybe we can just see if that sees in a bigger picture, and then that can actually make sense. Okay. It is going to be something of a interactive session where I'm going to speak less and I'm going to expect you to speak more, suggest ideas, come up with certain things that we can do. It's going to be a different kind of session, probably we all might actually have fun. So what I'm going to do is, okay, so it's going to be based on discussions. Okay, there are going to be discussions at every part of this particular session or this talk for an hour. It's been very long since I spoke for an hour. I think it was when I was in my school days and I was Microsoft and I used to go around to different colleges speaking like this. So I'm used to talking to students because all I talk, people tend to do, but then professionals get to go there. So happy to be here. So this is what it's going to be, right? Most of it is going to be based on discussions. Not going to suggest certain things. Okay, we are going to have a discussion. We are going to have a debate on certain things. Because few of the topics that I'm going to suggest are actually going to question the way things are done today. And maybe we can arrive at something that can be done tomorrow. So what I'm going to start with is basics of ubiquitous computing, what is service-oriented computing, IoT, different things, functional programming, very just as a topic. I'm going to take less than 10 to 15 minutes on this. It's going to be a very quick brief of what it is. Okay, then I have a thinker. I just want to, I have certain case studies. Okay, that I want to suggest how things are done today. And then I'm going to introduce the concept of ubiquitous programming. And then we see how things can be done with the help of ubiquitous programming if the same methodologies are. Make sense? Okay, we are going to know what are the topics, then we're going to have a case study if we find out how things are done today. Okay, especially students, if someone had told this to me when I was a student, it would have been a great help because I entered into an industry not knowing how things are structured, how things are, what is architecture of certain things, but then this is actually going to be. So, and then I'm going to introduce this program in a very vague way, and then we're going to use some examples to see how it is done. So this is how we're going to proceed. Starting with that, ubiquitous computing. So what happened earlier? Again, let me go back to the history of how things were done. There was a need for computing all of a sudden because computing was required. And there were some very big computers that came in. And then there was a trend of personal computers. Then we required. Okay, but then what we noticed, okay, ubiquitous in a very simple way, the normal dictionary meaning of ubiquitous is everywhere. Okay, so it's just something very good I wanted to add so that there's some top good school because when I'm actually posted on Facebook. It actually looks cool rather than saying computing ubiquitous. So that was the whole idea, nothing more than that. So ubiquitous computing is something which actually embeds computing in our day-to-day lives. Okay. So I walk around, okay, and I need something to be done with computer. Gone are those days when I have to go to a laptop or a desktop and then, okay, let's forget laptop. Gone are those days when I have to go to a desktop and then do something and say that I did some computing. Okay, if you were to rewind, like say 10 years ago, or say maybe even 5 years ago, computing was restricted to certain places. Computing was restricted by certain parameters. Maybe you need to have power to compute before laptops came, or you need to have certain things to compute. You need to have a setup to compute, or whatever it is. It was restricted by a lot of things. But then advancement today, okay, has actually narrowed the line between computing and a day-to-day activities. And I'm very sure that you must be observing that, right? As we go around mobile, as a mobile facilitates computing everywhere. Laptop. So today, there is no bounds as such as to say that this is required for computing. Because we actually roam around everywhere with computers. And that actually is the basis of ubiquitous computing. Because we compute wherever we go. Okay? So that is ubiquitous computing. And a little bit of theory, it should have 5 characteristics of it. So it will be important when I actually introduce this program. First is it's embedded, as in it's embedded in the way we do things. Second thing is it's contextual. It knows you. So earlier we had to know computers, saying that if I were to get certain things done by computer, this is how I need to do it. But then things have changed. Computer knows us straight. I'm looking at a particular place, I get a notification in Google now saying that these are the places you can go around, and these are the best places to eat at this place. So it knows where you are, it knows what you are, and then computer is embedded in what you do. That is contextual. It's personalized. Okay, my case, I actually use computing the way I want, and my computer the way I want it to be. So it is personalized. It is adaptive. Okay, I am here today, today I am in India, I'm using my phone. Okay, tomorrow I go to US, the notifications will all of a sudden change, the way computer is going to impact me might change because it is adaptive. It adapts to what you want, and it's anticipating. It is mindfully anticipating. Say that means. It actually expects us to do something. There is a difference between proactive and reactive. You know that, right? Okay. Reactive is when you do something and someone reacts to you. Proactive is when that person comes to you. Reactive had GDG come to me and say that we will talk and I expect that I would have been reactive. I reacted to the information. But then I was proactive. I proposed to talk and then they contact. That's the difference between proactive and reactive. Ubiquitous computing, in a broader sense, is meant to be proactive. But today, in a lot of cases, we select it's reactive, as in we do something and we get a response to that. Let's see how we can change that. So these are, in a very broad way, some characteristics of ubiquitous computing. So why all of a sudden this entire trend of ubiquitous computing? Because there was a trend that was going on in IT industry. There was a miniaturization of hardware. Okay, what to say? There is a myth. We all know that computing, as in computers. Earlier, with half that data it actually covered half of a football field, and now it's in our pockets. So it has been miniaturized. And then if you look at it, computing is becoming more and more miniaturized. Where we are having computing in our wearables, we have glasses that compute for us. We have our shoes. We have our skateboard. Everything computes for us today. So how is that possible? Because we are miniaturizing on hardware. And then most importantly, they come with low power solutions. Power, which was a major constraint back then, is never constrained today. Okay? Because you can get anything done with less power and it's very effective as well. So because of that, there was an emergence of wearable tech, Okay, and there were some smart diagnostic devices that came into the picture, maybe something like Boki, maybe Fitbit, okay, which actually are with us, as in you wear it as a watch and then it diagnoses the number of steps that you take, the heart rate and whatnot. All these things started coming in. It was a new trend. Okay, that's when computing started being embedded into our day-to-day lives. And also, another important thing is that there were some advanced communication techniques. Okay, back then, for me to communicate from one person to other, as one computer to other, it was very complicated. But then it has been simplified very, okay, maybe with a very simplistic implementation of RFI, or maybe as complicated as BA, that is Bluetooth, low power, low energy. Okay, that is, if you've heard of it, if you follow what Apple does, I think it is something big that Apple is planning for. So, which uses that, or NFC, okay, much different with all of the high-end Android phones you have in this system. This made people require another new fancy term, that is Internet of Things. Okay, so what is Internet of Things? There are a lot of things around. I created Internet of Things. I said, I connect them. How do I connect them? Using these communication techniques. It's not rocket science. Okay. But then the usage of this is really, really good. Let me pause it here. Introduce to you another concept called service-oriented architecture. How many of you are already aware of it? This makes it more easier. I can just say anything and people will do it. Service-oriented architecture, okay, was something that was used in upper mission of movie. So this is what I meant when it wasn't used as a solution. Service-oriented architecture is beautiful because everything around you is a service. Okay, everything around you is a service. Okay, back then if you look at web architectures, as in the way web applications were developed, it might actually look at something like creating an but then there are certain design principles that we follow. Okay, have you heard about design principles? Do you have it in your head? Okay, design principles is, say, dealing with how we walk and how we talk. Don't do that. Okay, so design principles is how we actually design a particular application. There are a lot of things. There's a three-layer architecture. There's services. Okay, service-oriented architecture. A lot of such architectures. And I say that if I have to do a particular application, I'm going to follow this methodology. Okay, which sets a standard. Say that okay, this is how different components of the application react and talk to each other. A lot of such things. Okay, it's a very vast field of study for that. One of that is recently, which is very much in use today, that is service-oriented architecture. Wherein I have services everywhere. Okay? Say that I have a service here that does addition for me. Okay, and I have a service here which does subtraction for me, and a service here which does multiplication. Very realistic. Okay, the way I implement my calculator is that whenever two numbers are given to me and someone says me to add, okay, I pass on two integers on the input or any number of inputs to this particular service, saying that add these for me, and I get a response back. Clear enough? Okay. So rather than doing you are familiar with C programming? What is the first or second program that you wrote? Implement a calculator, right? How was it done? What did you do? You wrote a switch case, and then if it's addition, you do this, if it's that. It's a normal one. That's how it was done earlier. But then you are not relying on a top-down approach. Okay, where everything is stuffed in one. I select whatever is required from that particular server. Look at complex architectures. They say similar architecture of Facebook. Okay, you think with the scale at which Facebook deals with the number of people or the number of data, would it be effective if it was a single server-based architecture? It had to be spread across different things, right? As if there had to be certain portions which were spread across different geographies, okay, different servers handling its own data. How did we do that? Using services. Okay, I say that there is a service which just handles posts. Okay, whenever I post something, there is a service that adds it to the database, and whenever I do something, it actually gets it from the database. What is that? It's nothing but a service. Service is something that serves, okay, in a very simplistic way. It can do anything, it takes input and gives output. So how it is generally done is that there is a broker. Okay, so there is a broker which says that I have a number of services. Okay, I have a service for addition, I have a service for multiplication, for subtraction, and I have a client here. So when I need addition service, I don't know what the service is provided. I don't know who actually is going to provide an addition service. So what I do is I talk to this broker. Okay, I say that broker, I need to add two numbers. So broker searches the history, saying that which are the services which does a particular task, and actually gives me back the service contract as well as the way in which I can talk to that particular service. Saying that yes, there is I have a rule which does addition for you. Okay, but then you need to talk to him in a particular way. It gives it to me, and then I use that and then make the service contract. This is, very plain way what service-oriented architecture is. Okay, something that you must again get to know. Functional programming. Okay, it's actually very vast. Okay, I did 2 days in just on this. So let's keep it here for now. I think you almost have a overdose of information already. So let's keep this for a little bit later. So linkers. Going to the second part. So with these things in mind, okay, so I told you about service-oriented architecture, I told you about how different things are done and stuff like that. Let's actually get into some new. So let me actually ask you guys, okay, let me give you a scenario, case study. Okay, say that I am a particular grocery store, as in say I'm at Tesco or I'm at Big Bazaar, any such retail store. Okay, I need to devise an application, I need to develop an application that is going to give me the best things in that particular store. Is the requirement clear? I enter into a store. Okay, I need my application on my mobile to give me the best deals in that particular application. Can you just tell me how you can do that? Anyone? Let's start. Let's start ideas. So let's first look at the requirements. Let's see how we actually meet them and what we actually do. No, I'm not talking about computer stores. I'm in a particular store. Okay, I need the best deals in that particular store. I'm not talking about comparing between these things.
Compare the other stores prices. Make a service on your phone, which is and with the Wi-Fi on their only receives the data of their.
Okay, let's start it from basics. I said I had a particular store. Okay, so first thing that is solution to my location. Agree? So first I need to tell this person who is actually giving me best deals. Okay, who gives this service, say that, okay, I am at this particular place, I am at Big Bazaar, okay, what next should I do, right? The first thing, location has to be, okay, what next? Yes, you are continue.
Service should be running on the phone itself.
Service should be running on the phone.
Yeah, I mean, instead of having a GPS or something, the service should sense like, I'm in this room. Okay? And then send the parameter which gives you all the requests. Broadcast.
So broadcast to whom?
To the mobile. To the phone, send to all the customers.
Okay, fine. So if I understand, anyone can come up with a better, yes. Correct. So, okay, even almost in single lines, wherein there is a service, say cloud, or maybe there is a database.
It should be locally. You don't have to send location. As soon as you enter the shop, you connect with the network. It gives you the
okay, I'm very good at doing it. Okay, so you will say there is a local store somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, I connect that and I get the information. Exactly right. What you suggested was there's a cloud. Okay, there's a cloud database which has all these deals. So whenever I get it, I say I do a simple query. Say that I'm at this location, give me the deals at this location. That's again most of the places it's done in this fashion. This is a good way of doing it. A very common way of doing it, right? Okay. So let's actually expand this. Let's go a bit in detail. Say I have to get, okay, all of you are being launched during Saturdays when there is a sale. Okay. It's a total disaster. I wouldn't like to go on a Saturday if there is a sale. Which is a major bottleneck. Where you actually struggle a lot when it comes to shopping in the market. Each is fine, and it's displayed in big different. Even before you enter into the shop, there will be hundreds of flyers and sales. Billing is one major thing, right? So even after having all these things done, even after having so much of sophistication, having a lot of things done, we still realize that billing is not the bottleneck. Okay. Let's go. Let me give you second scenario. Real-time navigation basic. Using, okay, let's say using Google Maps. How do you do this? Let's analyze the components that we have in this particular problem. One is my location, which has to be shared on real-time basis. The other one is the data, the routing data that is with the servers. Now tell me how to do it. Pardon? Yeah, no, just give me the implementation.
So like there are cars on the street. So the street local will let you know that this is the location you have to go. This is your path, correct path.
Right. So how does Google Map does it? Yeah, GPS is the way in which I used to get my information. GPS is not a routing algorithm. GPS just gives me my
Your location map, you will
address. Yes.
not you will not say.
Okay, Google Maps again. So there is a data that is stored on the server. I use my location, real-time basis. I do connect. There is a lot of types and tech that happens there. I get my route. Okay, there is a route algorithm. It is implemented very efficient. All that. Yeah, that's all. If you look at all these things, other than the direct implementation that we're doing, okay, what was one common thing? You know, how many of you have latest smartphones as in, say, at least two dual-core mobile phones? How many have? Most of you, right? As in, all of us use, okay, there is octa-core computing, as in there is octa-core mobiles. Most of our office computers even are less powerful than that. So we have so much of computing power in terms of in our mobile in our own hands. Okay, but then what are we using it for? Just to send a location. Okay. So I asked this, and then my friend just came in and like, oh, I'm buying this code, it has 8 ports, it has 10 ports, it has that, it has this. But then if I ask them what is it used for, okay, many of them don't know, like I said. I normal code and it's iPhone. Sorry. But then for most of the cases, okay, most of the power that we have in our hands, okay, are we really utilizing it? Apart from really few applications wherein there's a game that requires a lot of computing, there's a very brilliantly designed program that uses multiple core, multi-threading, and then it's fast connections back and forth in codes and stuff like that. I really see very less use of such sophisticated hardware that is given to us. Okay. Let's take another two different concepts that I introduced earlier. NFCs and PLEs. Anyone have an idea of NFC and PLE?
This connects two devices to regular devices or regular devices.
That is NFC. That's it. Bluetooth. If it is using Bluetooth, it's IP, PLEs. Okay. Another format is this. There are some comparisons. You just have a look at NFC doesn't require power, PLE requires power. The range of PLEs are 150 meters. And the range of it is very less, maybe about 5 to 10, really close to 7. Look at this, I think last year it happened. But you can very well see that this guy comes on stage and he says, who goes around touching phones to different places? That's old. It seems kind of odd, right? You go tap a phone somewhere for some action. So this is about it. Okay. Now, okay, with all these things in your mind, there is NFCs, there is PLE, there is service connector application. Okay. There is a lot of computing on your own hands. Think rigorously and try to come up with a solution. Okay. Many people say that cloud is the next big thing, cloud is the only thing, cloud has to be everywhere. People but then you cannot actually harness the power of cloud in each and every case that time. Agree that there is unlimited space on cloud. Agree that you can store anything that you want, everything that you want on cloud. Agree that there is a lot of bandwidth available in different places. Okay. Going back to the concept of computing, say if I have computing everywhere, say I have classes, say I have my phone, say I have shoes, these computers, everything. I say I'm living in a country like India. Now, if I can get in India, actually come to cloud and give things back. What are the use cases of such things then? Right? Okay, there is a need for some different form of computing to come in and say that, okay, I'm not going to use cloud for everything, I'm not going to use internet, I'm going to use different means of communication, and that has to do something around maybe communicating using Bluetooth, or maybe communicating using IRs, or maybe radio, and then have application based on that. And that is happening with IDPs. As in, if you look at the way IDPs is actually envisioned to work, this is exactly what is happening. So let me suggest you something. Using all these things, okay? All these things are happening. And one thing that we need to do is every big company is building an ecosystem for itself. Okay, if you look at it, no one has stopped at the point saying that Google is such a search engine. It has its mobile, it has its everything. It's building an ecosystem for itself to deliver ads in the world. because it knows where you are, what to do. That adds something of value. Whatever the reason that it has. But then if you realize one thing, okay, every single company is building an ecosystem around its product. Right? Even if you look at Amazon, it's building an ecosystem around e-commerce. Google around computing, Apple around computing. Everyone is doing something or other to actually support an entire ecosystem. Okay? And this is one thing that we have to notice. But then when all these people are doing so much, okay, what we as developers are doing that? Okay, there is computing that's given to us. There is a lot of stuff that is happening around. So don't you think there should be a difference in the way we look at problems and maybe try to solve them in a different way, rather than follow the same approach of putting everything on cloud? So most of these, as you look at all these fancy startups, as in I do this, I do that, it's all. Why does it just say places like India? Because of a very basic fundamental need that we would have here, is that we don't have connectivity everywhere. And just trust me, it might take long for us to actually reach a state where, say, every single inch of, town, for that matter, just a town is covered by fiber. It is going to take a long time. That doesn't mean that technology has to be standard and that cannot reach the massive scale of this even say lesser developed countries. So let's think of a different solution. Okay? And how can we do that? Let's think of it. Okay? So that is the basis of ubiquitous programming. So what I'm going to say is the changes that we as programmers have to do is to follow a trend that is already there. Okay? The trend of having computing each and every aspect that we do. Okay? And the trend of giving power to each and every components that we use. There has to be an efficient way to actually tap on that and then do something. And that is the thing with programming, ubiquitous programming. It isn't fixed rules for ubiquitous programming, right? As in, if you look at it, okay, it's just a random phrase that came up. There is nothing for ubiquitous programming. There is no documentation of it. But then you see that there are small implementations of certain things in a smaller way, okay, which when applied in a very bigger fashion can actually, I would say, result in a lot of optimization, a lot of different things. So one thing is very easy, it's just coming up, as in there is no much work on this already is done. Second thing is there's no fixed and it's a program to utilize, it's a program that to utilize the power of ubiquitous computing. Okay? With these things in mind, let's go back to the machine and deal with these cases. Case one, what was that? Shopping. So now let me forget the best deals in a particular place. Using concept of items, using LLCs, let's design a different architecture there.
And then see, I thought about that IPs, like we are entering a code detects where you are and since you are in the shopping mode, the person is entering the mode and the data will be transferred.
Okay, so kind of, yeah, on track. What I have actually done in this case is, okay, there are tags everywhere, right? All these tags, and there are all these products are tagged. Okay, so with the transferring power of these tags, okay, what I do is have a two-way communication between these tags. Whenever I enter into my shopping point, actually I have a service broker. Remember the service related calculation. I have a service broker, and then the service broker saying that give me the prices of all the products. Okay, so give me the prices of all the products. So, and my application on my computer is just going to segregate all these prices and find out what's the best deal to buy. Makes sense? So, where is server here? Server, all it does is, it's your phone which is doing everything. Okay, the main central server cloud, all it is doing is pushing in the latest prices to all these different tabs. Okay, using a push mechanism, broadcast, whatever you call it. Okay, so it's just updating all these tags with the latest information. So every tag has to contain not less than 2 to 3 KB of data. Very small, it's just the price, maybe the previous price. So what it is doing, every tag is just transferring a little bit of data. There's a segregator, it does all the tasks, and it tells me this is the best product for that. So made sense? You are using the power of your phone, you are using everything around, you're using a application less dependent on cloud. Imagine this scenario where every person doesn't have internet. Does it still work? When I'm using internet here, I'm using Bluetooth, I'm using IR, I'm using radio technology to actually get data to me and then make a decision on my local machine. That is my mobile. Makes sense? Okay. So this is one very vague way of doing it. Say tomorrow, Big Bazaar introduces Pardon, sir?
How does the service provider next to the tag or the code file?
No, we think of it as there is advancement technology. Probably there is something which actually helps you to
We should get a down. Just
no, no, internet. See, we are talking about internet at an enterprise level. Say a company like Big Bazaar, enterprise chain like Big Bazaar, it would be foolish to think that they don't have it. They would definitely have it. So they would actually have a mechanism to get these data from somewhere and then push it. Okay, what I'm saying is from the consumer point. Okay, it is okay to expect that Big Bazaar has internet, but it's not okay to expect that every single person that walks in the store has it. So that actually gives us a lot of things, right? As an especially implementation like this in a country like India, it's going to be very helpful because actually I don't roam around with my 3G switch on every time. If I have these instances that you're doing in a very simple fashion without using a big game, that's one thing. Second case, what is it? Traffic. Yeah. You almost get an answer. Okay, what I'm thinking is I beacons. I beacons have a range of about 50 to 100 beacons. So if you look at it, as in look at the normal scenarios, where you don't have GPS, okay, you don't have Google Maps. How do you actually travel from one place to another without knowing where to go? As in without knowing the route, how do you actually generally go around? Ask the person, okay? Ask the person. This is go straight, go right, and ask someone. Okay, and again I go there and ask someone. He says 2, 3 more what is it? Steps 1 and then I keep asking for it. This is a normal way that we do. Okay. Is there a necessity that at any point of time when I'm traveling from point A to point B, I need to know the geography of entire world? Okay, do I need to find a person who knows where exactly every single route in Bangalore is, and only then ask that person to find out where next to go? That's not required. It doesn't make logical sense when you look at it in a day-to-day scenario. But then why do you do that with Google Maps? Say we have high frequency in every single signal that we have. Okay, we use small signals for a long time, right? Implementation again can be various. It's what is it? The role of a domain, the domain expert to actually find out how to actually very detailed. There can be a lot of flaws. But then imagine this. I have a particular this one here. I have a beacon being set up in one of these packet signals. Has a range of about 50 to 100 meters. So as I stand in this particular place, it tells me all the 10 possibilities. Okay, so you can go here, go there, based on this particular location. Makes sense? So what am I doing there? First thing, I'm getting my data through Bluetooth. I'm not using my internet. I still have very robust navigation. Now do you see how we can exploit the power and every nodes that we have, all of the physical node that we have in terms of computing and then exploit it rather than depending on cloud internet. This is what we do this program. Okay? And this is not just going to happen. Okay, there has to be a lot of changes that has to be done in the way we look at certain problems. Okay? Ever heard of dynamic programming? Okay. Dynamic programming is a different type of programming which actually uses the result that you computed in the previous step to come to the result of the next step. So you just keep computing the result. It's not, see, there is no fixed rule to say that dynamic programming has to be implemented. It's kind of someone says that use the results of the previous step to compute the next result. Similarly, impedance programming is such methodology. You can say that use something to make it more efficient. So there is no fixed rule to say that I can't come here today and say that this is how you have to do it. It depends on the way that you break down the problem to get success. These are just 2 examples that I took because it made more sense to me and it became easier for you to practice. Now, I think most of you would be kind of, what is it, cognizant of the fact that we can use impedance programming to actually, which can actually reduce the load on server, how much bandwidth and all that, but then still have a work. Right? Because there's a lot of power in that is impedance programming. Look at it in Google's part outside. I don't know how relevant this is going to be here. So what I did was, like I said, there's no fixed rule. What I thought is I just suggest something here. So these are different modules. Okay, now coming back to one slide that I missed other in the beginning, functional programming. Anyone aware of what functional programming is? Okay, cool. You know object-oriented programming. Okay, so when everything is connected to object. Okay, so whatever I have, if you look at it, don't consider C, it's not truly object-oriented. Say something in Java. Every single thing that you have is object. Okay, a string is an object. Whatever you do, everything is an object. So you can pass objects to a function, you can get objects from. Okay, you can pass functions so you can pass objects to a function, you can do whatever you want with the object. So that's object-oriented programming, where you model everything as an object. But then there is a new trend that emerged, which said that you can treat functions as independent units and then use it, model everything as functions. Okay? So they're not going to be loops, everything is going to be function calls. You can pass functions to a function, you can get function as a return value from a function. And that trend is functional programming. Again, that is a very good use, again, a very huge topic to discuss. Okay, so one of the implementation of function programming is I have a particular function, okay, and I pass a particular function to that. Say I have a function listener, okay, very simple example, and I pass add to this. Okay, so instead of saying that there is a service there which actually adds particular numbers given these input, what I say is I send this function to the server, saying that I'm already defining the function here. In that, whenever I send this, all you have to do is execute this on your server with the capacity, computational capacity, and do the result back. Are you able to connect now? So, two methodologies. One is the service that's already implemented in this. All I have to do is get the input, get the output. Okay, the other implementation is I don't depend on the service that is already implemented. I send my server function. All I have to do is execute it and you get the result back. Okay, the second one can be related to function programming. Okay, so what I tried to do was combine these two things. Okay, combine the concept of functional programming and combine the concept of SOA, and I tried to give one possible architecture for implementing this program. So what I do is all these units, okay, independent computers that we have around, maybe in terms of watch or maybe in terms of in-car entertainment system that Google has recently launched. Okay, so all of them, okay, they just have a listener program which actually listens to people around them. Okay? So that is one implementation that we do. So say a particular module X is capable of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 functions. Okay, so all I do is on my phone I send that particular function to that say please execute it, given the parameters and access to data that we have. Okay, and then get the result back. Okay, those modules give the result so functions. Okay, what do those functions do? They output the result. Okay, so my phone here, which I'm using as a simple device, gets all these functions, does some aggregation on that, and then gives the result back. Okay, so everything done in a this way. This is one very, a rough implementation of how this can be done. Last, I go to the last slide. The Google. So, how does this all make sense? Okay, why are we discussing this today and Google conference? Okay, it's because when you look at all these things, okay, when you're looking at this programming, okay, there has to be a common platform. Right? There has to be a common way that can communicate different components. Okay, Android is actually going in that direction. Okay, if you look at it, Android is everywhere, starting from phones to fridges, TVs. Android is present everywhere. Okay, so that is one very encouraging thing for us because there's going to be a common platform that we're interacting with. Okay, so that is one very good thing that's happening now. I hope that Google experts, okay, like Apple Google One doesn't come in and then the expert really because it's actually a very big concept. There's a lot of trust to that. So if you do that, a lot of things can be done. And also it's a step ahead already compared to all these other players in creating that major ecosystem that we have. Because there's already watch, there's already in-car entertainment system. Okay, so look at these things. There's already a lot of companies. Okay, so it is a step ahead. So looking at all these things, how many people has the infrastructure discussion on? Let's say we have vehicles that can listen to us, that can translate, or maybe another technology already new, which does that. Okay. We as programmers should be ready to change our paradigm, to change our thinking, to actually adopt and program that we exploit the concept, and not just writing data, everything has to be done. Okay. Cloud is brilliant, cloud gives you unlimited possibilities, but then there has to be something that can be done without that. A very simple example, say you're in an office. Okay. Say, my office is at two places, one is in US and the other one is in Bangalore. Okay. So how do we share documents among two offices? Through cloud, right? Because that's one way, right? So I just put it on cloud, and the other person is accessing it. Take tomorrow my office grows, a small startup, or it grows, and has 5 offices in Bangalore. Okay? And I have some information that I should share within Bangalore offices. Okay? How do people generally do it? I can put it on cloud and anyone can access it. But if you look at it, okay, whatever information that is shared, okay, that is relevant to banking offices. Does it make any sense to people sitting in the US or different offices that are established? So don't we narrow it down? Say that have different instances, this is for Bangladesh, and then put it on the major bigger cloud, say that this is for all. It's just a small principle that can apply here. See that not everything has to go there. There can be some data stores around. Small computation units like we have that can serve as agents of storing data, agents of transferring data to us and connect cloud and all this. And that actually results in a lot of computation gain in terms of implementation, in terms of scalability. A lot of possibilities. So think of it as a thing you will use. Okay, it's not okay, I'm not just saying I go to program. It's not a it's not a programming language that it's a paradigm that you can use. So let's say hopefully in future we have certain implementations. Last time, obviously this was the last. So if you don't like the book, you go this time. If you do, you can reach me out on these pages. I will link blog and other than thank you. Any questions?
Because programming sounds very true, but it should be really considered one of these program as you also said,
it's just a normal,
yeah, I think it's I've seen this people this age old in this whole example that you're highlighting, it is more on integrating devices by whatever they use, right? To integrate with people.
The reason why I said this to use programming is the change in the programming trend you need to follow to get this thing. I'm not talking about the concept as such. Okay, it's an appeal to the developers here saying that if you are going to program, if you're going to use the concept of this programming, there has to be a major change in the way you look at architectures of applications. It's not going to be a simple service, REST-based kind of sensor architecture that we have. It's going to be a major change. And that trend, okay, that is, it can be called as some trend in terms of programming. That's really used. That was the beautiful
Operating on the cloud, device, community, those are all so parameters are best way you are using.
yeah. So might seem a bit misleading, but it's got nothing to do with one program. It's a paradigm as this. Thank you.
I had two things on the so Google is used to create this tool. It is used to create. Nexus 5 code, so this is whatever you have, as clearly and there are companies who are working on Bacon. They are developed Bacon is working on that. We are working on a project which is using Bacon to do that. And if you want to know more about Bacon technology, that is very simple concept. On Bluetooth, we have low energy as a specification. So you put a battery which goes for 2 years. So you can make a device, put in a wall, it will stay for 2 years there. With the battery and it broadcasts on on the radio frequency which your phone also can understand. So every 30 seconds, you can write the program on the Bacon chance. Every 30 seconds, every 15 seconds, you broadcast some message. Okay. On Android, because of the experience here, in Android you have Bluetooth any place also. So if you are on 50 scan, there is a 150 MB scan. You can just give a callback. You get a callback with broadcast message that is coming in a single screen device where it's kept and the status service message. Whatever we want to get back. So those are those already there in value.
It's already there, so that's a great thing. It's already there. Something that we need to tackle as a, I don't know, as a learning third, fourth year. Or you're a probably yes. You might actually in a project something, or these things, you have to do something that's taking a lot. Okay, so any other questions? Then, thank you.
Thank you so much, yes. The next talk is by Priya Arora. She is a software engineer at Cisco, and she'll talk about the media framework.
If you have any more queries for shares, you can reach out and then another session. One more. At least one hour. If you want to reach out now.
I'm Priya Arora, and today the session topic is video framework. This is basically the work which I've done in my internship. So I've just learned this framework, so I just want to share what was my experience and whatever I have learned with this framework. So how many have you have heard about the Neo framework? Good. So you all know, you know about the working, how it works, and something, or you know just the framework is this, and how the functionality inside works. Do you know about this? Little bit. Okay, fine. So Meteor is basically an open source JavaScript web application development framework. And we know the framework. Framework means who alleviates the task. Is whatever we do, it can minimize the efforts to develop a web application, right? So it's a JavaScript web application means it's basically built up using JavaScript and totally built up using JavaScript. Means no other language has been used to form this video framework. But if we want to build any web application using this framework, we can use any other scripting language. Means instead of only JavaScript is not there, there's one more scripting language. You must have heard about this CoffeeScript. That scripting language we can also use to make the web application using this framework. So if we want to use the CoffeeScript scripting language, then we need to install that package in that framework to use the scripting language. Okay, so the dependency of this video framework is that it uses MongoDB. Means how many have you used this MongoDB database? So means most of us have used this MySQL database, but the limitation or whatever you can say, if you are very true to that, yeah, I have learned something new, then MongoDB is the best option because it's a NoSQL database. There are many limitations with the MySQL database because it's a relational database, and till now if you have used only MySQL database, then you can't know that MySQL has so many limitations as a database. If you are using NoSQL database, then you can compare any NoSQL database with a relational database, and then you can come to know that there are so many options that you can't do. There are so many things that you can't do with the MySQL database that you can do with the NoSQL database. So that is the main advantage of the Meteor framework. If you are very true to learn something new, that it depends only on the MongoDB database. And until now, it's only using MongoDB. But in future, it might be the case, it might be the scenario that you can use many other databases also. So I already told you that Meteor is based on JavaScript, but we can use any other scripting language also to build the web application using this framework. And next comes the principles of Meteor framework. Means first of all, it's a one language. Means as I told that everything we can build using this framework by using only one scripting language, either JavaScript or CoffeeScript. Means on the client side and server side, both sides we can use only one scripting language to make a whole website. And second, but database are there. Means everything is dependent on the database in this framework. Means if you want to access something, you will have to depend on the database. So there is MongoDB database in this framework. So the beauty of this MongoDB database is that it is stored in the form of the collections. Means in MySQL, what we have so many tables, and in tables we have so many records. If we want to access any record, then there is a limitation that every record should have the same number of columns and same number of something. Means everything should be consistent in a table, but this is not the case with the MongoDB database. What is that? Means if I suppose have a collection, if you try to map the MongoDB database with the MySQL, so we can see, we try to visualize this thing that MySQL we have tables, and in MongoDB we have collections. And in MySQL, if one table is having so many records, that in MongoDB we have so many documents. But the difference comes here that in MySQL, if all the records, if suppose I have a table, and in one table I have 10 records, and all the records must be having 10 columns. If suppose one record is having 10 columns, then all the 10 records should have the 10 columns. Okay? But this is not the case with MongoDB. If suppose in one document I am having only one column, in the second column, in the second document I can have 10 columns and of different sizes, different data type. There is no connection between two documents in one collection. So this is the main advantage of using MongoDB. And the third one is the latency compensation. I will talk to you later. If you build any website, means using this Meteor framework, I have used before this framework this Struts framework. So I can compare this Struts framework with this Meteor framework. Whenever I used to use that Struts framework, I have to start server again and again to run my web application. But this is not the case with video framework. Whenever I make any changes in my application, it will automatically reflect in the web application without starting any server, without page has to be refreshed. It automatically comes the updation which I have done in my web application. So it minimizes the round trip time because if I am suppose changing anything in the HTML page, then it will automatically reflect. It won't go to the server and then contact the server and then will return the output. It is not there. So it minimizes the latency time period. And the fourth one is a full stack reactivity. Means as I told that it's very reactive framework. Means whatever changes I do, it will automatically updated in the website. So this is the advantage of using this framework. And the fifth one is the open source. Means anybody can download this, anybody can do changes. If we are very hardcore open source contributor, then you can easily do that. And the last one is the simplicity equals to production. Means I use Struts framework. So why comparing that Struts framework with a video framework? It's very easy to use, very convenient to use. You can easily build a website in very if you are very hardcore programmer. Then if you know how to use a video framework, then you can easily build a website using this framework within 2 or 3 days. It's not a big deal to use this video framework. And there comes a concept. Means key idea is everything is everywhere. Means as I told that it's basically based on the Mongo database. So Mongo database is everywhere on the client side as well as on the server side. And the advantage of this is that, as I told, that latency composition is very low. Means there is no time. If you have done any changes on the client side, then it will automatically reflect on your web application. It won't connect to the server, and then the updation will reflect on your web. It's not like that. And the second one is the JSON format. Means whenever you want to get the data from your server, then that data will come to the client side in the form of the JSON format. Okay. And there comes Meteorite. Now, till now I was talking about the Meteor framework. Meteor is a framework, but there are so many packages which are required in order to build our website, right? So for that it is required a third-party packages. For that there is a wrapper around the Meteor framework that is called as a Meteorite framework. Meteorite. This is a wrapper which helps us to install any third-party packages while building our application using Meteor framework. And there comes a one thread for one device. That means if suppose simultaneously thousands of users are using my web application, then for each user there will be a one thread, so that every user can simultaneously use our web application. And there comes a collection and cursors. If as Meteor uses collections, MongoDB uses collection. Means the basic unit of storage in MongoDB is the collections. So in collection, if suppose I am filing any query, just like take the example of MySQL. If suppose I am filing any query in MySQL database, then what happens? It runs the reports, the number suppose in a table of reports. Then it will run just loop from one report to second report to third report, so on up to my table is all completed, means processed. Same is the scenario with the Mongo database. Means we have the collections, and in collections, if suppose I am filing any query, I want to find any particular document in my collection to my MongoDB, then I will have to send the query and it will store the whole collection. Means suppose if I want to get the 4th number document in my collection A, then it will store the cursor at 4th location, and after that automatically the whole number of documents in that collection will be stored as a form of the array. So we can store it from the server to the client side and easily process that thing. Now comes the core element. Means Meteor framework is full of packages. There are so many packages, there is no need to write yourself any code for anything. There are packages for email if you want to add email functionality in your website. There are packages for machine learning even. Meteorite, as I told, that is a wrapper around the Meteor framework, provides so many machine learning. You have heard about the name-based, clustering, classification, any algorithm you talk about. There are so many packages available for every machine learning algorithm, and you can easily implement on your website to apply machine learning on your website to make your application intelligent. And I've already done this work. It's very awesome and it's very easy to use. And the third one is accounts. If suppose you want to add in your web application, accounts means login functionality. If you want to add, instead of applying yourself, instead of do coding yourself, you can use the packages which are provided by this Meteorite wrapper around the Meteor framework, which can link you with the Facebook, with the Twitter, with the Gmail, any account name you can tell, and every kind of package is available in that. application and you can directly take the login functionality for that particular thing. And it's basically a command line tool. Means it's not means I have used Linux, so it was basically only command line. I've done all means normal Linux command that we use to do the task. And as I already told that it is a reactive programming. Means whatever changes I will do in my app, in HTML file, in JavaScript file, in database, wherever I will do, there is no need to refresh the page. There is no need to start the server. It will automatically reflect all the changes in your web application simultaneously. Next comes the structure of the application. If we are, first of all, there is no hardcore rule that you will have to use this structure while building your application. It's very flexible. You can even make your whole website in one file only, but you will have to provide the constraint. Yes, this code should be run on the server side, this code should be run on the client side. So there are some parameters. If conditions are there, you will have to apply yourself if you want to constrain about these things, and you can make your whole website or web application in a one file only. But if you are using a standard convenient convention rules, then it will be easy to judge yourself if you are getting wrong somewhere. So for that, the basic structure that I followed, and it's good if you follow that structure, but it's not mandatory to follow that structure. There are 5 folders we can make in our web application by building that. These are the 5 structures, these are 5 folders, and the one is a server. If suppose you want to have that this particular code should run on my server side, it should not be run on the client side, or anybody else cannot use that particular code, then you will have to mention the code on the server side. If you don't want that I have to build the different folders for my different code structure, then you can mention there is one parameter meteor.is server on the code part while applying the condition. So that server will get to know that this code is going to run only on the server side. Client won't access that code. The second comes the client. The same scenario with the client. If you want to have a particular code should be run on the client side and should not be touched by the server, then you will have to mention that code in the client folder. Next is the lib. As we all know, lib means library. Library means whatever you have entered inside the lib folder, that will be accessible by the startup of the server. Whenever the server gets started, all the things in the library folder will automatically get started. Next comes the public folder. If you want to have add some images or extra things in your website, then you will have to add those things in the public folder. And next comes the collections. Means all the database collections, whatever you are adding in the website, that should come in the collection folder of your application. As I told, that it's a flexible structure. It's not mandatory that you should follow these 5 folders. You should make these 5 folders in your web application. It's totally up to you, but it's good if you follow this structure format so that you can get to know which part I have to see while debugging my application. And variables availability means if you want to make your whole application in one file, if you are so much confident, yeah, I can build my application in only one file, then you will have to mention that this particular code should run on the client side and this particular code should run on the server side. For that, there are many variables are available. Just like call that meteor.is server, you will have to mention in front of the code, above the code in the if condition, that this code should be run on the server side and this code should be run on the client side. Similarly, for the client, we have meteor.is server. Client parameter is available. Now the demo. I just make a basic app. There is no need to install the Meteor because it's already installed in the system, but still I'm just showing you. It's a command because it's already installed. You will just have to mention this command and the Meteor framework will automatically get installed in your system. After that, if suppose I want to make any application, then you will have to run this command. First of all, go to the folder structure. Means if suppose I want to make my application on the desktop, then I will have to go to the desktop folder. If I want to make any folder, means wherever you want to have your app should be there. That particular location you will have to first of all go, and then you have to give this command. If suppose I am making my application as a demo app. Now, demo app is created. Now we need to go inside the demo app. So go to demo app. Now we inside the demo app application. Now we need to run the server. So the command for running the server is meteor, and it's up to you whether you want to provide any specific code that your application should run on that particular code. You can provide with the help of the hash code and something. Code can really vary from 3,000, from 1,000 to I think 14,000, and you can give any number of the code, 3,500 something. But it's good if you are providing the code at a difference of 1,000. Means if you are providing 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 instead of 5,500, 6,500 something. So if I choose something 5,000. Then my application is running on 5,000. If suppose I am not providing any port number, then it by default will run on 3,000 port number. This is the basic app which I didn't do anything. I just created the app name, and it's a by default app which whenever you will create any app, this functionality will come here. So if I suppose make changes in the application to make a good app, first of all I will have to create the folder structure that I showed you, means that I explained to you that this should be there for convenient purpose, not for mandatory purpose, right? So inside the demo app, if I create 5 folders, having name, now inside the client, you can make 2 documents, having main.html and main.js. Now, as I told you that the functionality means what should be there inside these folders separately. But if you want to have that something should run after your server has started, then those things should be mentioned inside the main.html and main.js, and these should be present inside the client folder. Okay, so next, if I suppose write this code inside that one. So now I have created a style.css. As you all know, the basic functionality of CSS file is to provide the means how the our HTML page should look like. So that's why I have created one HTML file .css file inside the client folder. Means if you want to have that your page should look like the CSS functionality, if you want to provide to your application, then you will create inside the client folder a style sheets folder, and inside that you can add that style.css file. Okay, so after that, and the one thing means, as I told, that video framework is very convenient to use, then why? Means what is the reason behind its usage? Means why we should use this framework? The reason behind is that it is based on the template-based system. Template-based system means you can try to relate the template-based system with the functional programming. It's not totally functional programming. Just like take the example of C. In C, what we do, we just make the functions for different functionality, and we call those functions in order to map that functionality in our proper code. Okay, so but while compiling our C program, what it does, it just pastes the code from that particular function on the name where the function is mentioned, right? The same functionality happens here, means whatever I have to mention a particular functionality in my web application, I will have to define a template, and everything that I want to have should be inside the template. So for making the template, I will have to create one HTML file for every template, and corresponding to that HTML file, I will have to make a JavaScript file. So that the functionality will be there in the JavaScript file, and the layout is how my page will look like will be there automatically, obviously in .html. So for that, I have just created this one. This is the post list file. .html file is there. So inside the views folder, I just created this post list.html file. This one. This is one of the templates that I have created. Now what it does means main.html is our main file, which will be the front page from where every template will be called, and correspondingly the JavaScript file of every template. Okay. So the main.html, this is the basic thing that all of us know, that head is there, body is there, and head is there. But one thing is different in these template system file is that there is one. This is called template. So how can we say that? Means it's restricted by the curly braces, and this greater than sign is there. So the functionality means how the template-based system is. Vector is based on the template-based architecture, right? So how does it call this template? It will render this template, this post list template, and correspondingly it will call this post_list.html. And when it will run, when it also will run, it will replace this post list template with this code of this template, which I am showing here. So whole thing will go here in main.html while running the application. And from there you can see that post.html, post_list.html is showing two things. One is the hash key post, and the second one is the second template it is calling. So that hash key is nothing but the block helper. This block helper is just like the loop. We use loops in Java, C, C++, every language. So it will run the loop, and everything that will come inside the post. The post is nothing but a collection that I am using here. So it will take every document from the collection, and simultaneously, just like loop runs, it will take one document from the collection, and it will render that particular document, and it will pass that document to the post item. Post item again is a template. So it is sending each document from the post collection to the post item template. Okay. So the post item template further is like this only. This one is a post item. In that post item, what I have done, post item, as you can see, means if I am calling from the post_list, a template name having name post item. So the post item template name is the same as what I am calling here, means the attribute name. We are not providing any kind of routing to the video that this file is there, you will have to go there to get that template. It will automatically map itself that the template name is post item, that I will have to see in my application folders where that file name is. So it will see for the post item name attribute wherever the template particular exists. So it will go to that post_item, and it will see, yes, this is the template. I will have to copy this template code from this file to my where that particular template is calling. So it will render, and in this template, it's using the URL, title, and the domain. These are nothing but the expressions which I am passing from my collection having name post. From there, I am retrieving the values of these three expressions having a URL, title, and domain, and then it will automatically reflect in that page, main.html. So how this works, are you getting? Means how this mapping is going on. It's a little bit tough to understand very quickly, but if you will start doing, even if you are able to make a small app, you will definitely get how to use this. It's very easy to use. Only you have to see means how the mapping is going to done, means how the template name should be similar. We have to mention only the attribute name or attribute of the template name as the attribute inside while calling the template. So this is the only thing. Otherwise, you don't have to do anything else by yourself. Everything with your browser, your framework will do automatically. So the post which I was talking about means post item will call the post here. Means as you can see here in post list, we are calling that hash in loop, we are calling that post attribute. So from where this post is calling, the post is nothing but the collection name which I created is this one. And while creating the collection, you have to just mention this line. Video collection and that post, and it will automatically will pass all the documents which are present in that collection to the post variable, and all the things which are there in that post, in that collection, all the documents, all the attributes will reflect here because you are passing these values to a loop, and it will run and it will pass each document value to the post item template, and then that particular post item template is further showing you the values of the attributes which are present in each document of the collection, having an URL title and domain. So if you want to have this, you can store in the server side. In the server, if you have the fixtures is nothing but the kind of database. If suppose you want to have that this particular amount of data should be there in your app every time while starting up the server, then those particular documents you can say, because basically based on MongoDB, those documents can be stored in the fixtures.js, and this is what I was talking about. Means I have just created a post collection, and the values I am retrieving from here means from the fixtures.js, and all the attributes that I am presenting there means post in this template I am showing the values of URL, title, and domain. So all these values will automatically come from fixtures. Means in this post document, I am showing up the title, author, and URL. All these values will fetch from this document and will be shown on the web page. And the rest of the thing, the publication. Publication is basically, as I told you, that it's a reactive programming. The advantage of this framework is that if you want to have, suppose you have thousands of collections in your web application on the server side, obviously you will store every collection at your server, right? But you don't want that every thousands of the collections that you have on your server side should be there in your client side. But you want to have, suppose 5 of the collection should be there on my client side, that should be in my cache memory, but the rest of the collection should be there server side. So if you want to have that kind of functionality, you can publish your documents here, collections here. Means you can publish, means if suppose I want to publish only the post collection and not rest of the collections that are there in my application. So with the help of this command, you can do that. So it will automatically will store those particular collections on your client side, and rest of the collections will be there at your server side. So it's very in memory based functionality. It's very easy to use. Means you can on your own show that yeah, these particular collections should be there in my client side, and rest of the things should not be there. So you can save your memory also. So now if I run my app, I don't know, somehow I was crashed or what. I think there is some problem in the application is not running. So I can tell you the conception. After having this one, as I told you that it's based on the HTML, means live HTML template, means whatever you are making changes, it will automatically will reflect in the application. And it's basically based on the template system, means just like the C programming, you have added particular functionality in a function and you will call that function. Similarly, you will have to add a template in your code, and instead of that template, means the whole code will be pasted in wherever you have called the template made. So this is the example. Just like I'm using the GDG Bangalore and session. Here the session represents a template, and whenever this code will run, instead of the session, the whole thing that is having the name is equal to session will get placed at that place, and it will run, and the functionality will show up on your browser. And the second one is the data security, means you are using the same database APIs on both sides, means on the client side as well as the server side, you are using the same APIs. So there is no need that you will have to use the different APIs for different purposes. And the second one is the secure model. Very secure model, if you want to have that, these things should be there only at the server side, and these things should be there at the client side. Then you have the variable ability, you have the parameters, you can add in under those codes and restrict yourself. Yeah, this particular code should be run on the server side. And as I told you, there is some in-memory database cache, means it's suppose you have thousands of collections and you want to have only 5 collections on your memory, on your client side, then you can mention and you can save your memory size. And minimum concept. Minimum concept is the same thing. Is if you want to have particular collections at your client side, then you can automatically mention them, and it's kind of a replica of a Mongo database that you are having at your client side. So it's nothing but the minimum thing. And the publish and subscribe, as I told you, that publishes means that you want to publish only these particular collections from the server side to the client side, and server is publishing those collections automatically. But if you want to have only 2 out of the 5 collections that server is publishing, then you will have to subscribe yourself those 2 collections among 5 collections. So for that, you will have to mention these commands in your publication. In server side, you will have to mention these commands so that your app get to know that yeah, I want to have only these many collections. And the deploy, if you want to deploy a web application, then simply you will have to use this command, video deploy, and then your application name. And if you don't want to use the default infrastructure that has been provided by this video application framework, then you can use your own infrastructure, means like Heroku or anything else. You can use it to deploy your application, and you can run from any browser, just not to be restricted yourself only at the browser. Any question and answer?
Next talk is the graphic software engineer and
I'll need probably another 5 minutes. Karthik? Okay.
Hi guys. Low on energy, right? Nice. So how are you feeling about the sessions going on since morning? Huh? No, you're free to talk anything. You're free to suggest anything. You're free to anything. So I see most of the people this side are sitting like students gang from colleges, right? And there we have professionals also sitting. That's quite a good mix. And this is what have really been going on from morning. And ubiquitous programming and meteor framework have been quite well. And so how about seeing your ideas developing? Have you guys thought like we have various ideas in mind and we have things which are working, but we need some corporate support or company support? Do you think we have that particular scenarios in our day-to-day lives? Okay, as students as well as professionals, we have professionals with us. So there might be some cases where you wanted to do something using some devices which companies are releasing. Like Intel is releasing its own devices, own tablets, own phones. It has various sensors or different kind of stuff which is embedded in the devices which are given by Intel only. So don't you feel the need of going ahead and using those devices and partnering with Intel? That is one aspect of associating yourself with Intel, developing your ideas, right? And we have among us Keshav. He's here. He has already partnered with Intel, and yeah, I'll be calling you in a little while from now, right? So that is how things work. So before going to exactly what Intel has to offer as getting partners with you. So before that, I'll just quickly make a check. How many of you guys are Android developers? Cool. How many of you guys are web developers? Okay. And yes. Okay, what kind of technologies? Let me just have a quick check. Okay, sir, you. Validation. So, what particular technology you have? Audio video graphics. So, you work in Intel only. So, okay, yeah, you. Yes, you and it. Yeah. You work on this technology? Yeah. Okay, any technology you want to pursue or you are passionate about? You know, there's a thing in the question what I asked. How many of you are web developers? How many of you are Android developers? How many of you guys build only native apps? Android developers might be knowing, right? Native apps, one. How many of you know the stuff? Okay, I know that you guys are not from Android background, not all of you, but still there are certain things what you guys can look forward as an Android developer or a web developer. But if you are looking for combination of both Android apps as well as web development apps, there is a kind of thing which is known as hybrid apps, right? How many of you guys know what is hybrid apps? Okay, do not worry. I know the student crowd is kind of just exploring new things. I can understand, but yeah, Intel has already done some tools which you can directly use, and that tools will help you out to bring your web technology stuff as well as Android stuff together, and you can make Android apps, hybrid apps, anything, web apps as well, right? So let's just quickly get started. What Intel has to offer. A quick introduction about me has already been given by Karthik. I'm working in Intel as a graphics software engineer, and yeah, I'm associated with GDG Bangalore as well. Apart from that, I'm working with different technologies, Android plus some of the web technologies, and more of machine learning stuff. Okay, so you have various things which are coming up in the market. So next generation of smartphones, tablets, PCs are already in the market, right? So what is the latest thing what Intel is working on? Any idea? 4G is going to come. What else? Sorry? Wearables. Exactly. Wearables is one field what Intel is exactly exploring. What more? Okay, someone mentioned just in the beginning of this discussion. How many of you guys know what is Google I/O? Some of you guys are very well aware of it. Google I/O is annual developer conference, right? And that particular conference discusses what new Google is going to do in the technology. And yes, there were certain things which Google discussed. How many of you know Android Wear? Samsung Gear, right? How many of you know Android TV? Some of you. How many of you know Android Auto? Android cars? Yeah, same hands, Google I/O hands, right? Yeah, there is exactly a difference wherein companies are looking forward in this stuff, Android Wear, wearable technologies, yeah, IoT and all that stuff. So what Intel is offering you guys is, if you guys are exploring these fields and you want any hardware support, any support in terms of sponsorship, Intel has to offer. It has something to offer you guys, right? Plus, apart from that, it has tools, it has business resources for you guys. So if you are looking forward for that, this is the right place you can look forward. So yeah, we have these kind of stuff which are already there in the market and they are coming. So these are the 6 things where Intel has looked forward in terms of Android. PAOS, P and kernel contributor, optimized drivers and firmware. All these things will sound good if you guys are dealing with these technologies. Yes, it will sound only when you are actually dealing with these technologies. So do not worry if you are not aware of these technologies. Yes, at some point of time, you will get to know. And we have a case study today from Path Partners, Keshav, who will be discussing how he partnered with Intel and how he used exactly Intel devices to bring out his app. So Android developers, quick check. Android runtime. You guys have already heard about this thing and you guys might be developing some libraries or some stuff in that particular area. So all the Dalvik apps, all the Intel Atom processors, they are actually capable of running those applications. And yeah, we have ARM processor as well. All these applications will be running on Atom as well as ARM things. And Android NDK applications will also provide x86 toolchain since 2011. Since 2011, actually Intel has explored a lot. And you guys can run your applications without any conflict with x86 tools, etc. Right? How many of you guys are understanding actually? I know it's a bit difficult for student kind of stuff. Okay. So quick things what we have is partner with Intel. If you want to partner with Intel, we have optimization wherein Intel is providing some tools. How many of you guys know Intel XDK? XDK is a kind of tool wherein you can use that tool for developing Android applications, hybrid applications, and web applications. So that optimization will be provided by Intel, marketing resources, and business development. If you guys want some hardware from Intel, that business development sort of things will be provided by Intel. If you guys look forward for partnering. And marketing resources, yeah, Intel doesn't believe in marketing its own products. It doesn't believe in publicizing. That's why you never see hoardings outside. It's always it maintains its logo intention, Intel inside. It's already inside the devices. It never makes anything like publicity kind of stuff or marketing kind of stuff. So people will actually work on the apps using the Intel devices, but actually it is all which is running inside. That's how Intel is giving you market resources. So you can quickly check the software.intel.com. Many tools are already open sourced in that. So if you guys want to explore that, you feel free to do it. Yeah, Path Partner. I guess Keshav is here with us, so he can discuss more about what application he has already developed using Intel devices. And Intel has partnered with him, provided various devices and all, and he has worked on that. So I guess he's the best person to talk about.
Okay, so for students, because he was talking all native Dalvik, right? Just to give you background, because you can understand very well what is. So when you write application using Java, this is Dalvik app. So you use SQL, all these things. You don't go to anything to write in C++. C++, that is where native application comes. And that C++ code also will work as it is. You don't need to do anything extra. There is a translator. If you write ARM optimization, write instruction set on assembly, using assembly, on ARM. Then also Intel has translator which can translate ARM to their architecture. But if you go for neon optimization, then there is a problem. That is where the tool chain part of things comes. Okay, you understand this? So what we have done as application, Path as a company, we started in 2006. I'm one of the co-founder. I look after mobile apps, and we develop application based on multimedia. Okay, so one of the applications that we have developed is called PP SDR. PING exclamation mark and then SDR. So this is for picture application. What it does is that it enhances your picture, whatever picture you are taking, with a condition that is there. Like suppose if you see this area, your human eye can perceive that this is a bright area, there is a dark area, right? But your lens in your mobile phone cannot perceive that. Okay, it cannot perceive brighter and lighter side, so it doesn't have the human eye perception. What we do that we take picture at different exposure. So we'll take one picture at normal exposure, whatever lens can see. Then we'll ask lens to go and change the exposure. This is higher exposure, to make brighter picture. And then we'll ask go for the lower exposure, which will make it darker. And then you take the same picture in 3 different exposure and mix it to give you the best picture. So your brighter side will become less brighter, your darker side will become more brighter. That is what is called SDR. Okay. Now, if I have to do this application, I cannot do everything on the Java. Okay, so it cannot be a dynamic app because I am getting a 8 megapixel image, which is 32 MB, of 3 pictures, which is 96 MB. Okay, and then I have to write an algorithm to mix it. If I write a Java application, I may run out of the memory. My garbage collector will come so frequently to relocate buffer that application can crash. So I have only option to go and write in native. Okay, writing in C, C++. So when you write C, C++, such an algorithm, you write in C, it was taking 39 seconds to just take 3 pictures and mix it to give you a better quality picture. Now, if I ask a user to take a photograph and wait for 39 seconds to mix it, it's going to throw out my application. Right? So I have to do some optimization for that. So first step is to go ahead and optimize the ARM processor, write ARM assembly and optimize it. That comes to, from 39 you can come to 10 seconds, 8 seconds, you go further optimize 6 seconds, 5 seconds. So today we have come to stage from 39 to 3 seconds. On Intel processor, if I use the same ARM instruction, I don't get 3.5 seconds. Right? So I have to partner with Intel. Intel gave us a tool that is called ICC, Intel compiler. You don't use GCC compiler. And on Intel side, they have done the NDK, whatever Anuj was telling, that in your single APK, you can publish for Intel architecture as well as ARM architecture. Okay, that is the support that has been brought on. And using the compiler, I can tell you some of the modules. Like if you are from the imaging background, you understand the algorithms that we applied. They were giving 3 to 4 times of performance if I use ICC compiler against the GCC compiler. That is the kind of performance you're talking about. Overall, if I take the whole C code, some optimized ICC compiler, it is giving me more than 125% performance. So something which is taking 4.5 seconds, it goes to 10 seconds if I don't use the ICC compiler itself. Okay, that is the partnership. We are using Intel XDK also to develop hybrid application. It is one of the, for students, it is one of the best tools that you can get it free of things. If you go and it has all the samples, you can compile on Windows, iOS, Intel, on PC, everything you can do. So I'll showcase you the application that is there on the market. You have to just search peeping SDR. If you search, it will be one of the top 10 applications that is there with the SDR, and particularly with the peeping. If you search, you will find 3 applications, and one of them is SDR. I'm showing on the ARM processor architecture. So if you see from the area that I choose, and on the there is another challenge that you face is that because you take 3 photographs, each photograph takes almost 800 milliseconds to take a photo in mobile. If you change exposure and take photograph, another 400 milliseconds to add it. So 3 to 4 seconds to take a photograph. Just taking 3 pictures, it takes 3 to 4 seconds, and then you have to do the algorithm part of it, right? By the time you take picture, object will move. in the picture somebody will move his head, walk, all those things happen. So if you use best of the phones, be it Apple or S4, whatever you use, Galaxy S4, S5, and you try SDR mode, you'll find that your picture is having ghost effect. So if I move my hand, it will show you a ghost effect on this one. So we have written algorithms to de-ghost it and all those complexities there. And what we have done is that if you take a picture, we have given a counter where you can stabilize the phone. One part is that your object is moving, another part is your phone itself is ticking, because if you tap on this one, it's second, right? So if you take a picture, it will be second. Then we have given exposure time that you can introduce, normal, high, low, whatever it is. And you see, this is the brighter area, that is the darker area. I'm taking a photograph from this one. That's all. So the time it has taken to take the photograph, and in the background, we have done the processing, and your photo is ready. And if you can see that almost in human eye, the darker area, it has got brighter, the brighter area has got reduced. Otherwise, if you just take a photograph of this one, it will be too bright to make it visible. That is the app. Please download from the Android Market Store, give your feedback. That's all.
So this was a case study what he has already worked with Intel on after partnering with Intel. Yeah, sure.
Why not like process related? Process related after you take. So you usually take 4 seconds when you take the picture.
3 to 4 seconds? Yeah.
And then you put it in the folder and then do the process related. I don't care like really.
Yes, but it's like if you take 30 seconds after also, it is not going to be good. Yeah, that is correct. So what we do is that once you take the first photo, we do analysis in the background. You take the second one, you do the analysis. But by the time you take the third one, it will be almost ready. That is the operation we do. But you have to change the exposure. First shot is like without changing the exposure. Here I have to change the exposure to +2 and -2 or whatever value that is there, right? So that is where you have to give a time to change the exposure. Otherwise, it will not change.
So a quick question for you, Keshav. How you felt like after partnering with Intel? How Intel has helped you in terms of getting this thing ahead?
See, first thing is that you need Intel device. So we got Intel tablet and Intel phone, and right now we are working on SDR video. So if you see S5, Galaxy S5 has WDR on the video, where you can change the exposure and take a good quality video. We are introducing that in the software. They use sensors to do that. We are introducing that one. We have algorithm ready. We have demo already on the Intel PC platform. We have our own camera module developed where we have integrated this, but we wanted to do on the mobile side. So on Intel, you get complete source code. Android source code has been given to us. We have given the HAL layer access and everything. We are integrating those algorithms. So we get device, we get tool chain, that is the IC compiler, and you get source code plus training part of it. Then enabling on from the Intel side, we have done it, and they guide us in marketing. They take us to the different conferences. We have shown into Google Android Developer Conference. We are there in the Google Global Developer Summit.
So any questions what you guys have in mind, like how and why to go with Intel or anything? Any specific questions with respect to what exactly he has developed? Yeah.
When we talk about mobile, the main perspective is Android versus iPhone.
Yeah.
And nobody, none of us wants to talk about processors. Typically, that's not the thing that we look for. Now, what is the role of Intel? Intel is using processor chips for handsets or each thing. You know? Because I understand Intel is a PC.
Yeah.
Personal computer Intel is from the mobile computing perspective, what's happening? When you push You guys doing the take
Good question. I would like to answer this question in this way. See, whatever devices you are looking at today, it's not about only the processor. It's all about it's more of about how the things are getting displayed on the front screen, right? If it is Intel enabled device, if the device is specific to Intel, then all the display what you see on the screen has to be written. That device driver has to be written by Intel, right? So to that particular device, what Intel is manufacturing, all the software part is also to be developed by Intel itself. So you see the stack, right? About Android stack, there is Linux kernel, there is user space and kernel space, right? And from user space while entering to kernel space, there is a hardware abstraction layer, right? So Intel probably works on that particular layer, and that particular layer has certain device drivers which enable the Linux kernel functionalities. And those functionalities either are related to display drivers, surface figure and audio drivers, all that stuff. All that Zygote and all the services which are getting started, they are starting with the help of Intel softwares. So Intel is entering in the market not exactly in terms of hardware or processors. It is entering with respect to whatever device is coming. It is writing its own software to give a better display. So you won't find that particular feature in other devices. For example, you see a tablet which runs on Intel processor. You will find a difference in the display what you see in that particular tablet or the different company. How it comes the difference? Because the hardware what Intel has used, Intel itself has written the software to drive that hardware. So in that space, Intel is entering, and yeah, there is a specific question: why Intel being a processor company, chip company, entering the Android stuff? So this is how it works. Like entering, because Android is all Linux based, right? So when we have to call the services from Linux, we have to go from user space to the kernel space, right? And that transitioning, that system's call which goes to the Linux kernel, it has to be answered by the hardware, right? We are telling hardware to do something for us. And if that hardware is running Android platform, then we have to write that particular software code which will access that hardware which is provided by Intel. Again, that has to be written by Intel itself. So that is how Intel enters this market.
Can you make the other way could be some vendor who adapt this and push this commercial ground. So it will not go.
Exactly.
So your question just to add on this.
Yeah.
Intel is not entering mobile now. Intel was in mobile in 2008. I don't know how many of you know that time. If you have used Windows mobile phones up to 2008, it was majorly on the Intel platform. That was exascale architecture and all those things. The Windows plus Intel, that mobile phones are very famous. Now it is under.
Yeah. Does that answer your question? So any specific questions you guys have? Thanks. Not exactly a platform Intel is providing, but you can use the devices in that sense, right? Because yeah, there is no API. There is no API. It has provided tools, but not the API. It was not released. It's all proprietary. Any more questions for Keshav? Yeah, thank you, Keshav. So guys, apart from what sessions we have just gone through. So can we have a quick check what exactly you guys have a feeling of how you know that these sessions have worked on, and do you guys have any ideas to discuss with Shreyas is here, Keshav is here. If you have particular questions, you can go ahead and discuss with them. So we were planning for a brainstorming session, I guess.
So in the poll we saw that a good lot of you are web developers, and there's also a strong set of people who are Android developers. So Shreyas is here who's done a lot on the website, and we have quite a lot of Android developers. So if you want, we can have something like a brainstorming session where we can split this whole crowd into, let's say, web and Android, and those who are fresh and new to both technologies can see which one they want to get into. and we can. And if you have an idea, we can probably take it from point A to point B and see how you can actually work on that idea.
How does it sound?
How does that sound? What is your response? You want to have a brainstorming session?
People want to have a brainstorming session. No, if someone wants to leave, then
Yeah, I mean, it's basically done.
so we'll first take a look.
No.
Can everyone say hi to the online? I mean, we were streaming the session, so make sure that you say hi and you get recorded. And thanks a lot for joining us, whoever joined us online. And